Hey, I'm Aaron Weikleenget. Thanks for checking out my video today. In this episode, we're going to be covering meditation and some of the benefits of meditation, how to meditate, and a few tips and tricks that you can maybe use to help yourself if you're new to it, or maybe you've been meditating for a while and you just maybe struggle with it. I have a lot of people tell me, Aaron, I just can't meditate. You know, I have that mind that just is constantly running crazy, that monkey mind they call it. And there's a few things that you can do to try to settle that down. First off, just great job on just attempting to meditate. Because right now in the world that we live in, when our attention spans are shorter than ever, things are always trying to grab our attention. Being able to sit down and disconnect from our environment isn't always easy, but it's worth it. The one thing that we want to realize is meditation, the purpose really of it, you know, meditation means to go within, but it's to raise our elevated state, our emotional state, raise our frequency, our vibration, our overall feeling, and then be able to get out of that meditation and carry that elevated state throughout the day, trying not to let things get on our nerves, bother us, make us angry, send us back into those lower emotional states, lower vibrations, lower frequencies. A lot of benefits to it. You know, you probably, if you can get into a good meditation and be able to hold that great feeling after your meditation for a long period of time throughout the day, probably see some synchronicity, some pretty awesome stuff happening in your life. And a lot of times, well, always, I teach it combined with exercise, people wanting to exercise, get in better shape mentally and physically, because exercise, obviously, whether you do it or not, is a great physical practice, but also a great mental practice. And meditation can help you to be able to get rid of that cortisol, that stress hormone, that is a killer for a lot of people's, results when it comes to maybe getting a different body or building muscle. Because if you have cortisol, which is the stress hormone, pulsing through your body all the time, it's really a killer of, testosterone. So you could be totally killing your testosterone levels by being so stressed. And that stress hormone, cortisol, like I said, it's basically, the stress hormone is not a bad thing. It's just that today's day and age, everything's trying to stress us out, whether it's the TV, the news, bills you have to pay, whatever it might be. And it's not like, an animal who is getting chased by a tiger has that stress hormone and they have to use all their energy to get away from that animal so they can stay alive. We are meant to do that same thing. Our stress hormones are supposed to be for a short period of time, but today, people be stressed out all day. And when you're stressed out, your immune system shuts down, because the immune system takes a lot of energy. And when your body feels like it's supposed to be fighting for its life, it puts all of its energy into the fight or flight system and takes away from other parts of the body. And then that's where sickness and disease can come in, when you are not able to stay in those higher elevated states, higher elevated emotions, and you're down there in the survival emotions. But back to the meditation. There's a couple times that it's very beneficial. It's beneficial anytime during the day, but right when you wake up in the morning and right before you go to bed. Those are two great times that you can do it. And what you can do is, if you have a hard time and you have that monkey mind that's constantly going, don't beat yourself up. Praise yourself for being able to sit down, learning to tame that body, to be able to sit down, close your eyes, disconnect from your environment. That's a win. So congratulate yourself for being able to do that. And then, just like working out, you're not going to get in the gym and start bench pressing 400 pounds if you've never worked out. You just have to get better, train that mind, train that body to be able to do it over and over. And before you know it, you can start to maybe see different results with it. And what you can do first thing in the morning is, like I said, when you get into that meditation, sit down, close your eyes. If you can do a blindfold and headphones so you can disconnect more from your environment, great. I feel like I get into a deeper meditation. But when you sit down and you want to try to really listen to a sound, listen to your breathing, just try to put your attention on it, because that when you find out, when you sit there and you close your eyes and you're and you're listening to your breathing, you don't necessarily hear your thoughts, that inner voice going. You're just kind of trying to pay attention to that breathing, or the fan, or the air conditioner, or whatever the sound is that you have, maybe that you're listening to. Maybe it's headphones and you're listening to a meditation video. Then what you can do is, if you realize you're thinking you just can't get away from it, just be the observer of those thoughts. Just listen to what they're saying. And then just practice just sitting there in that space. And then if you really want to try to get away from that thought, which, like I said, connecting to a sound, guided meditations help a lot of people. I throw in guided meditations a lot. I do them a lot. But this is one thing that not a lot of people talk about that can help you to really get away from that monkey mind. Before you do your meditation, and that's why you like to meditate right after a workout, like an intense workout. But if maybe not after a intense workout, maybe first thing in the morning, get up and do 30 body squats. Maybe if you're in really good shape, you need to do more than that or less than that. Do a max set of push-ups. Do something that's going to physically exert yourself to get that heart rate going. Because what I've come to find out is when that heart rate starts going, it kind of distracts you from your environment. Like you're like, geez, all I can think about is like trying to breathe, trying to stay alive in that moment almost. And then you're kind of inflicting that focused thought on one thing. So get down, do a max set of push-ups, do 30 body squats, 40 body squats, do some burpees, whatever it may be. And then when you're done with that and you're out of breath good, now sit down. And then you can focus on that breathing. Now it's just trying to catch your breath. And a lot of times you'll find out is you'll fall into that deeper meditation, and where you can't tell your nose from your toes. And that's kind of that state we're looking for, is where you're pulling the mind out of the body, Dr. Joe Dispenza says, and your mind is not realize that you're in this body anymore. And when you're in that state, the body knows how to heal itself. It knows how to do what it needs to do to take care of itself. And our thinking is usually what gets in the way of that happening. Try that. Try implementing some physical activity before your meditation. But again, really exert yourself, then sit down and get away from that thinking. So just to recap a little bit, if you can't get away from thought, just be the observer of those thoughts. And then, like I said, be grateful that you're actually sitting down and doing it, and you're keeping your body still. And then after that, if you want to try to step it up level, do some physical activity and really push yourself, then sit down. And one other thing, like I said, is if it is a little bit easier for you to get away from that thought, just focus on a sound, your breathing, a sound, a fan, an air conditioner, and then just be able to get that mind away. And I would recommend doing this as often as possible, because we want to be able to get into that higher elevated states and carry that throughout the day. Remember, we don't want to go into the meditation, and we're not going to beat ourselves up for this, but our goal is to get into a great feeling state and hold on to that. Learn to not let things bother you as much. Learn to realize that life is happening for us and that our thoughts guide where we're going. So put a lot of focus on your thinking and get away from making statements that aren't things that you want to be true. Like, don't tell yourself you can't meditate. If you want to be able to meditate, as challenging it might be, get away from at least speaking that, and then learn to try to get away from that thinking of that. And one of the best ways to get away from a thought that you continue to think, which is a belief, that's all a belief is, a thought you continue to think, is by changing that thought with a new thought. You could just say, maybe I'm not great at meditation right now, but the more I practice at it, the better I'll get. And the better I get at it, the more I'll want to do it, the more I'll enjoy it, and the more I'll see benefits of it. I know that, like anything, the more I continue to try and don't beat myself up about it, the better I will get at it. So just change your words, change your thinking, and before you know it, you're gonna start feeling totally different. The big reason I did this video was because I love to implement it for anybody that's wanting to get in better physical shape, or just, like I said, mentally in a better spot. That meditation will definitely help you to do that by just continuing to practice and practice and practice every single day. 10, 15, 20 minutes is all it really takes. Trying to disconnect from that environment, disconnect from that body, and really start feeling amazing. And remember, going through those days, the best way to continue to feel good throughout that day is to monitor that thinking. Make sure that you're being conscious of the words you're speaking to yourself inside that, with that inner voice. What is that conversation you have going on? Be in control of it. Steer it in a positive way. Speak things you want to happen. And then remember, your emotions are a guidance system to tell you where you're headed. If you're not feeling good, then pay attention to what you're thinking, because your emotions will come directly from what you're thinking. If you are feeling good, pay attention to what you're thinking or what you're focused on, and continue to do that. We want to feel good. We perform at our highest levels when we are feeling good. Not saying that stress isn't important, because it is, and stress can help you perform at a high level. It's just we don't want to live in that stressful state. Pay attention to where you're putting your mind, where you're putting your thoughts, the words you're speaking, and continue to try to be consciously aware of it every single day. So drop me a line in the comments. Let me know how the meditating goes for you if you are a meditator. Give me your feedback on it, and let me know maybe any other tips maybe that you have that help you to meditate better. Well, I hope this helps somebody, because again, these videos I'm doing are just so I can help somebody. This is all things I had to learn. Tried to make myself stronger mentally and physically. Had to heal my body from a lot of things that I did in the past that destroyed my body pretty much. And meditation has been one of the tools that has helped me the most. So we'll see you in the next video. Just drop me a like if this helped. Drop some comments. I'd love to chat with you. Have a great day.